One Broncos player put a lot of the blame on himself for the loss to the Seahawks. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for September 12th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel Vigil.
We're going to switch it up on you a little bit today. Typically, we start with the biggest storyline, and this one is definitely interesting, but I want you guys to take a guess on who you think it is in the comments that's putting a lot of the blame on himself for the loss to the Seahawks. I will give you one little hint. It's on the offensive line. So we'll get into it at the end of the Broncos section of our show, but drop it in the comments and let's see how many of you are right. Now, on to injuries. Garrett Bull did not practice Wednesday as the Denver Broncos begin preparing for their Week 2 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Given that he left Sunday's game with an ankle injury, that did not come as much of a surprise, but Bulls was joined on the side field used for players rehabilitating from injuries by 4 other key players as well, some of these being marked as a surprise. Wide receiver Josh Reynolds, Devon Bailey, starting center Luke Wattenberg. That's not good. I talk about it a lot on Coffee Break for my 3 keys for the game on Sunday, talking about the fact that we've got 2 people on the offensive line hurt going up against TJ Watt, a big bummer, and then Audric Estime, the running back. Now, Audric Estime, he will be out at least for the next 4 weeks as the team placed him on injured reserve on Wednesday with an ankle injury. He rushed twice for 14 yards in his debut in a loss to the Seahawks on Sunday. It was so funny. We were actually in the locker room yesterday getting ready to talk to Audric, and he's just sitting there at his locker, and some people are starting to go up to him, and all of a sudden Broncos PR was like, no, please don't. And we're all like, why the heck can he talk? Only to find out moments later that he went on IR. And so that essentially gave us that information. Huge bummer. I didn't even know that he was dealing with any sort of injury. So the fact that we're seeing him on IR now is a little concerning. And then one other player too, who was limited at practice on Wednesday, was Jonah Ellis. Hopefully we'll see him back to full participation sooner rather than later. Now, Sean Payton spoke to the media on Wednesday as well. First time since Monday. They, of course, were off on Tuesday. And Payton's anticipating Mims to get more than 12 snaps moving forward. This is good news if you are a Broncos fan. Marvin Mims hasn't had the strongest camp, let's just put it that way, but he does have speed in areas that the Broncos essentially don't have with other wide receivers. So getting him involved more is going to be huge. Next up, what we learned from Sean Payton is that Nix handled the line of scrimmage well. And considering it was constantly failing him, it felt like, yeah, he did handle it pretty well. And it's good to see the head coach also say that. And then last one for you, the Broncos are preparing for both of the quarterbacks, Justin Fields and Russell Simmons, but it starts with Justin Fields first. They will take a look at both of them in case Russell Wilson somehow decides he's going to play. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. But essentially it starts with Fields, and I think that's who it's going to be as they take the field on Sunday. Now, there is at least one encouraging aspect from the 26-20 loss to the Seahawks, and both times the Broncos needed points late in the first half, and in the second half, they got him. Nix found Josh Reynolds on a tricky throw to the sidelines for 25 yards, and that put kicker Will Lutz into field goal range. That sent the Broncos into a break at 13-19. Then after trailing 26-13 with 5 minutes to go in the game, Nix gave the Broncos a chance. He hit Cortland Sutton and Reynolds twice to ultimately get Denver down to Seattle's 4-yard line. Then we saw Nix, of course, run the ball into the end zone for his first NFL touchdown. Bo Nix talked about that on Wednesday, saying those moments were critical in the game. They provided points in big opportunities. Our 2-minute drives actually turned into 10 points. So that's really important throughout a game. Now, they went just 5-18 on third downs and punted the football 8 times, plus Nix threw 2 interceptions. So overall, that's not good. But when things were a little more quote unquote off schedule, that's when it started to look like Nix was really feeling himself and was able to make plays. So maybe let the rookie QB go a little bit more off schedule. It seems like Sean Payton doesn't want that for him, but it also feels like that's what was working. And we all remember it was fun to be able to watch Nix actually move the ball down the field instead of feeling like he was forcing it to go somewhere. He also mentioned that he definitely has to look elsewhere, not just his favorite targets. And that's going to be a huge thing as they take on the Steelers on Sunday. So at least one encouraging aspect from the 2026-20 loss to the Seahawks. Now, we know Von Miller still loves Denver, and we know that he loves Pat Surtain. He posted this photo on his Instagram story, tagging PS2 in it as well. But whoa, calling it the no-fly zone on the t-shirt. It feels like that's a little premature. I won't lie. We all remember the no-fly zone. Chris Harris Jr., Aqib Talib, TJ Ward. Those dudes were absolute ballers, studs. I feel like where we're at right now can't be considered the no-fly zone, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Pat Surtain, obviously one of the best corners in the league as well. I mentioned Quinn Meinerz. Well, actually, I didn't mention Quinn Meinerz, but I just gave you the answer to my question for everybody. And let's see, did anybody guess it? Nope, nobody guessed it in the comments yet, but that's okay. We'll let it slide. I feel like we're gonna get into this a little bit more, and hopefully you guys enjoy this type of content. But Quinn Meinerz is taking a lot of the blame, essentially saying that it was on him and the offensive line for the loss on Sunday. And as a captain, somebody who got a huge extension during the offseason, this is a pretty big move for him. And you could tell that he was a little frustrated. Take a listen.
Well, for one, it's the truth, and for two, the film doesn't lie. And so you can look at the film and see me not being myself and my normal self of the way I play these games. So it was definitely a little bit of a wake-up call for myself. And so, I'm looking to improve this week, attack practice a little bit different, and really come into this game with a little bit more confidence in doing what I do.
The question previous to that, Quinn was talking about how during training camp and OTAs and mini camp, was doing a bit of a different skill work and trying out different things. And he did a little bit of that during the game on Sunday, but it just didn't feel like himself. So then when he says, yeah, it's the truth, that was coming after he initially had said, it was kind of all on me. So it's nice to see him be self-aware of what was going on and not feeling like himself. And hopefully we see him get back to his normal self, because we know he's a beast. He's worth the extension price 100%. So appreciate Quinn Meinerz for the time yesterday during the locker room open session, but hopefully they're able to get back on track on Sunday. Now let's go to the game before Sunday as the Broncos take on the Steelers. It's the Rocky Mountain Showdown, and it was all respectful in the lead up to this year's Rocky Mountain Showdown until last night. All quiet on the Front Range no longer, as Colorado State's two star players, Braden Fowler-Nicolsi and Troy Holton, took direct shots at the Colorado Buffaloes through the media on Wednesday. My good friend Romy Bean shared from the CBS affiliate KCNC that both the starting quarterback and top wide receiver had some strong thoughts to share about their rivals. Take a listen.
We owed them one, and that's just something that's been sitting on everybody mind since we came back from break. We owe them, and we walked away from that game, as we kind of left it all on the field. I don't feel like we left it all on the field, because we should have murdered them guys, and they came out with that attitude as they were on top of the world, and this ain't no Cinderella story, so we coming for revenge.
Yeah, they came out with that attitude and thought it was going to be a cakewalk. They saw the reports, 27.5 points or whatever it was. And they got a rude awakening real quick. And I think it goes to show that the hype, the media train, all that, it only gets you so far. At the end of the day, you have to line up 11 guys against our 11 guys, and we'll find out who wants it more. And we'll see how far Instagram followers gets them.
We all came here to play football. So at the end of the day, the millions of followers and fans that they then produced and got, and celebrities that then jumped on their side because of who Deion Sanders is, at the end of the day, Deion Sanders ain't playing. It's those players playing. So those players better back up on what they speak about.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Listen, I'm all here for a little bit of trash talking. I always think it's fun. But during this particular game, it just adds to it. And I know that's what you're supposed to do in a rivalry game. You're supposed to get everybody pumped up. Everybody in the stands is going to be so excited come Saturday night at 5:30 for kickoff. I just wish it hadn't come out of my alma mater first. I wish we would have heard something from CU first, but that's just me showing my green and gold and bleeding it. I guess if you're going to talk a lot of smack, though, you better be able to back it up. Now, luckily, both teams are 1-1 on the season. It's going to be a really good game. Last year's game was incredible. One of the highest rated games or watched games that came out of college football. So hopefully we see the same sort of action. But I'm curious what you guys all have to say about the fact that we're hearing some crap talking, some trash talking, I guess I should say, ahead of Saturday. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling and who you are rooting for as we get ready for that. Just a little fun note as well. I will be on the sidelines actually doing radio for the Rocky Mountain Showdown. So if you cannot watch on TV and you're going to be listening on the radio, definitely tune in. I'll make sure I post all the details on my social media. But yeah, I'll be doing sidelines down there. And I'm going to be talking to Terrell Davis. So should be a fun little time. So definitely come hang out and say hello. All right, let's talk about the CSU Rams, though, in a different light, because Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State are leaving the Mountain West to join the Pac-12 in 2026. It feels like this has been a long time brewing, but essentially the official announcement is expected to happen this morning, which it did. We saw a beautiful post from CSU saying that the future is bright and the Mountain West schools will join Oregon State, Washington State, but Pac-12 still needs 2 more schools to reach 8-school minimum to qualify as an FBS conference. The Mountain West will also receive a total of $111 million in exit fees. This departing Mountain West schools must each pay a minimum of $17 million for that exit fee, which the Pac-12 is expected to help offset. Also, the Pac-12 must pay the Mountain West a total of $43 million for poaching the 4 Mountain West schools as part of the scheduling agreement for the 2 conferences. Wild. I feel like there's going to be a lot of money just getting passed around left and right for all of this. And a lot of people have been like, congratulations on the new conference. And to me, it's just so weird that they're going to be switching from one conference to another. And maybe this is just me because I went to the Mountain West, but like, I don't see a massive drastic difference between the Mountain West and the Pac-12. Again, don't come at me because I know there is a little bit of a difference, but I just feel like it wasn't that drastic of why did other schools just join the Mountain West. I don't know. I feel like all of this switching around, it just gets a little confusing at times. And it's like, oh, well, now CSU is back with the Pac-12 and it's like all of this stuff. So I'm just curious how you guys feel about it. Do you even care which conference you're in? Obviously, there's the SEC, the ACC. Those ones are all the big dogs over there, of course. But I'm just curious how you feel about that as well. But otherwise, CSU headed to the Pac-12. Obviously, Boulder moved out of the Pac-12. So a little interesting right there. Oh, we will move back to the NFL, though, real quick, you guys, because you probably got a notification about this on your phone if you have ESPN on your phone, but Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson is denying new allegations of sexual assault. Watson says he was unaware of the allegations until news of the filing came out on Monday. The lawsuit comes from a plaintiff identified as Jane Doe, who says Watson forced himself on her as the two were slated to go on a date in 2020. This was when Watson was a member of the Houston Texans. We all remember that Deshaun Watson had many other sexual assault allegations put up against him, but the lawsuit is seeking damages of over $1 million. Now, Watson told reporters that he did not know the lawsuit was coming out prior to Monday's filing. He explains, I found out this allegation and this file exactly when everyone else found out through the media, saw it pop up on my phone, and then I called my attorneys and asked them what it was. Watson's attorney, Rusty Hardin, also released a statement saying Deshaun strongly denies the allegation in the Jane Doe lawsuit filed Monday. We will be ready to defend this case in court at the appropriate time, but don't intend to conduct our defense in the media. We would ask that people be patient while the legal process runs its course. In the meantime, Deshaun is going to focus his energy and concentration on football. It's just a little Deshaun Watson update for all of you. He, in fact, did not know about this until everyone else did, just like the media. Now, it is Thursday night, which means Thursday night football. Woo! The Bills are taking on the Dolphins in Miami tonight for Thursday night football. The game will be streamed exclusively on Prime Video at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:15 p.m. Mountain Time. Both teams sit at 1-0 on the season, and Miami is a 2.5-point favorite in the latest odds. The over and under for total points scored is 48.5 as well. Woo! Thursday night football. Okay. Let's see your guys' comments. Love Vaughn. Me too. I feel like he's going to retire Bronco. It just hasn't worked out anywhere. Obviously, he won the Super Bowl with the Rams, but I feel like his heart is still in Denver, so totally agree. Good job by Quinn. I actually really respect Quinn Meinerz. You could tell just talking to him that it really affected him. I highly recommend anybody to go listen to any of the interviews he has. Andrew Mason has both clips on his social media. It's really, really good, and you can just tell it was deeply affecting him. There was a lot of players. We talked to Riley Moss yesterday as well. And the way he talked about how Tyler Lockett got the best of him on a few catches, even though he defended extremely well, you could tell it was still bugging him a little bit. And he even said, I'm still pissed off about it. That's the type of stuff you want to see from players like that, though, because they bring that then into the next Sunday and they're not going to get beat in the same exact way. So really good stuff coming out of Broncos locker room yesterday. I know Andrew Mason and Cecil Lammey did an Orange and Blue today talking about things they heard as well. You're also going to hear from me today on Coffee Break with things that I heard from different people. So lots of good stuff. I'm also giving you my 3 keys to the game. You guys loved the 10 observations that we did yesterday, which made me so happy. So we did 3 keys to the game for this upcoming Sunday. So definitely tune in and give me your guys' opinion because I'm curious to hear. Good morning, Rachel. Rachel, looks like you're feeling better today. I am feeling better. Happy to, not have any sort of like congestion or fuzzy head or anything. So thank you so much, though. Yes, feeling a lot better. Mims seems to be really indecisive on his return. Seems like he ran into tackles and didn't hit the line with speed. So I talked about Marvin Mims yesterday on my 10 observations from the game. He had 2 good runs and then he had 3 really not so good runs. And I totally agree with your statement of he seems really indecisive. I think he's just got to pick a lane and absolutely run for it. It gives the returner a little bit of an advantage because of the new rules of the dynamic kick return. So I'm like, yeah, pick your lane and go for it. Let's not try and like figure out what's going on. Like, use your speed to your advantage. I love that the captain is humble and willing to learn. Me too. Quinn Meinerz, just an absolute stud. Okay. Rams are going to eat buffalo burgers this weekend. Shoulder to shoulder. I love this. Let's see. I'm reading some of the other ones. Maybe the worst buff team ever. Wow. I love it on the trash talk. Let's see. Quinn Meinerz is showing he's taking the captain seriously. You guys, all of the comments are so good today. I promise we'll get to some other ones. I was just sticking to football. Quinn Meinerz is showing he is taking the captain seriously. Totally agree with that. I really, really enjoyed it. Don't forget to make your picks. We are going to do that on Coffee Break today, so please come hang out with me. Yes, we cannot forget to make our picks. If you're playing King Supers Pick'em, please do that as well. Thank you for the reminder, because you know me. I'm going to forget unless I do it with you guys every single day or every single weekday. Oh my gosh, it's been so Troy, I can tell you have been around for a long time. He says, my request, come up with a post-game Kahoot each week, maybe Wednesday for a small prize, Denver Sports water bottle or coffee mug. Please, if you were here a long time ago, this was when I think we were just completely in our home offices. We used to play weekly trivia. It was so much fun. The logistics just made it a little bit hard, but maybe we could come up with some sort of trivia again for something. I'll try and think on it and see what's the best way to do it. But yeah, it's been a while since we played trivia. We used to have so much fun with it. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. We'll do one more comment. Just let Bo be Bo. Oh, so true. How are you feeling less than a month to the wedding, Rachel? I'm feeling good. I got a lot of meetings all the time now. It's crazy how much planning goes into a wedding, how much of the exact same conversations that I have every single time, how many people text you about certain things. I think I've gotten texts from probably 10 different people asking what they should wear to our rehearsal dinner. So I put together nice little documents for everyone being like, here, please do this. I actually just got a text asking about rehearsal dinner. So it's a lot of repeating myself and also having a lot of meetings as well. But I'm really excited. It's super fun. I'm going to miss you guys for sure. When I'm gone, I'm going to miss football. Still going to tune in, even though it's going to be crazy late where we are going on our honeymoon. But of course, got to watch the Broncos, hopefully get some wins while I'm away. But you guys, that is going to do it for us. I appreciate you guys so freaking much every single time. Please come hang out with me on Coffee Break today. Like I said, I need your help with all of our picks. Let's figure it out and see if we can jump into the lead on our King Supers Pick'em. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you at 12 p.m. Bye.